Let's get another question here from Charlie in Starkville, Mississippi. In a recent interview, Chris Jericho said he had a backstage meeting about the sloppiness of the AEW tag team division. He said he specifically pointed out the Lucha Brothers for not following basic tag team rules. What are your thoughts on Jericho calling out the Lucha Brothers? And do you think this is a sign of growing frustration with Jericho and AEW in general?
Well, do we know he did this for a fact, or is this just a rumor?
He said that he did. I believe he said that.
Okay, from his own lips came this admission. Okay. Well, I don't say it's calling out the Lucha Brother like, we're going to meet you at the OK Corral at midnight, partner. You better have your guns ready to slap leather. I think it's, hey, you guys are the most egregious example of this because you're trying to do Lucha, which is, stuff like that is not as important south of the border. But you guys are the most egregious example of this. If you're going to work an American promotion in America, tag. But all the guys are doing, but they see, that's the thing is the biggest stars in wrestling now are not the people that the fans like. It's the people that the other boys like. When you think about it, those are the ones that are getting pushed because they tickle all the other boys, and everybody wants to be like the Lucha Brothers, which, you know, and the Young Bucks, which by necessity, just from those two teams means you're going to do a lot of meaningless fucking flipping around in spots to each other, cooperating with each other without tagging or following the format of what you're doing. Sort of like a basketball game where suddenly they decided that both teams can score at both baskets at both ends of the court, and it's just a goddamn free-for-all. The boys love that kind of shit because they can show what they can do, because it's actually hard to be like MJF and be a star because you're a fucking personality and you know what you're doing and you have the psychology. They want to go out and do all their shit. So because in so many places, the boys have taken over the business where it used to be experienced bookers and promoters, and now it's the crew who's one step away from the, hey, kids, let's put on a show level. They're booking, and the prophecy is coming true because they're booking and featuring all their fucking indie darling friends in fucking main event positions that used to be held by experienced veterans who knew that in a tag match, it would behoove you to tag every fucking once in a while. So you didn't need to be told that in the goddamn locker room.
I was able to pull up a couple of quotes here. Apparently this was an interview with Chris Jericho on Conan's podcast. Here's the quote. They started making excuses for the Lucha Brothers because, I'll be honest with you, tagging in and out, they're lazy. They don't care. They walk in and out whenever they want to, do whatever they want, and it's not right. It's not how you do it. And they would make excuses where they would say, oh, it's Lucha Libre style. Phoenix and Penta are amazing. It blew my mind each week. And once we had a couple of talks with them, guess what they started doing? They started tagging. Maybe it was just a habit, and maybe nobody told them. You got a whole locker room full of guys who have basically just worked indies their whole careers. Not that I'm putting the Lucha Brothers in there.
But he put them kind of next to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably a nicer, more polite way of saying what I just fucking said, ain't it?
Plus, it kills the credibility of the referees if there's just chaos going on. What's the referee doing?
You better get that defibrillator down off the wall and fucking start plugging it into a goddamn heavy-duty outlet, because I've already called time of death on the credibility of their referees when they're standing there watching fucking the manager jump off the top and take a choke slam and a fucking sidekick standing on the fucking ring apron flapping his wings.